name is Phila Beckett, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And if you enjoy independent content on YouTube, well, I don't really care if you enjoy everybody else. If you enjoy this independent content on YouTube, this is the one I care about. Actually, I know that's not true. I really care about a lot of them, which is why I started doing it. But anyway, if you like us, if you could consider hitting the subscribe button, that would be fantastic. Or the like button, or the share button. Or, you could go crazy and hit all three. Yes, we let you do that here. That'd be fantastic. Thank you so much for doing it. I very, very much appreciate it. I'm going to show you my appreciation because I give away stuff every week. So the stuff I'm giving away this week, pretty darn good. It is Doctor Who, The Green Death. This is from 1973, starring John Pertwee, Katy Manning. Fantastic story. If you've never been into classic Doctor Who before, this is a good one to start. It's very indicative of the John Pertwee era. It's very 70s. I warn you now, it's very 70s. But if you're into that, you're into that. And what was I going to say? Oh yes, how do you win it? That's a very, very important thing. The instructions are in the video notes, but you have to like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and if you can like it too if you want. And leave the hashtag maggots. Hashtag maggots. You can leave it here. You can leave it on Facebook. You can leave it on Twitter. And we do the drawing on Sundays. It'll be Sunday the 23rd at about 9 o'clock UK time when I'm on the TARDIS zone. That's 9 o'clock UK time. So it'll be 4 o'clock on the East Coast of America or 1 o'clock on the West Coast. And yeah, tune in. And if you don't win, don't worry. Actually, a lot of people have put themselves in. If you don't win, don't worry. There's good stuff I give away every week. There's some Doctor Who stuff. I remember, I've just realised I got a bunch of the Star Trek movies, like special edition Star Trek movies on DVD. I got the Blu-rays. Might as well give away the DVDs. Well, it means I've got to find them. I think I know where they are, but I'll look for them. And yeah, that's on the giveaway list. Oh, also I'm going to be giving away Better Call Saul. I think you got not Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad. I think I got seasons 2 and 3, maybe 1 and 2. I got a couple of seasons of that on Blu-ray. I got the my wife gave me the whole box set of it when it finished. So yeah, I have stuff to give away. And best luck if you I'm not going to say apply, enter. And again, if you don't win, don't panic. Plenty of stuff to come. Anyway, none of this is about Doctor Who or Breaking Bad or Better Call. No, we're talking about Picard, Star Trek Picard. Although I think calling it Star Trek is a bit of a misnomer. I think it's a bit misleading. Really, I just don't understand how anybody who likes Star Trek likes this. I mean, I understand people who like Star Trek who really, really want there to be Star Trek, but this is just so far removed from Star Trek. It's breathtaking. It's I understand you have characters in it with the same names as characters who are in Star Trek, and they're played by the same people. That's actually one of the problems. Okay, let's start going through the episode. Full spoilers. This is going to be a recap and review, and probably a lengthy rant. Probably several lengthy rants all the way through it. Okay, so we start off with another flashback. This is a bit of a trope of Star Trek Picard. We start a flashback to 14 years ago, and it's this really, really graphic and gross body horror, like Saw-like horror, when a Starfleet officer, who I kind of recognized, and then I realized who he was. I mean, yeah, when it was going, that's what's going on. But it was a Starfleet officer having his eye drilled out, really, really grossly, while he's still conscious and awake. It was just disgusting. I'm not into that sort of thing. I mean, I kind of am sometimes, but I'm just not into it. I wasn't into it here. I just didn't like it at all. It really upset me. And then I realized who it was. It was the kid from Voyager, the Borg kid, one of the Borg children from Voyager in the later seasons that 709 looked after. So 709 turns up, and she shoots everybody and to save him, but it's too late. Why is it too late? I mean, can't they they're in the 23rd, 24th bloody century. Can't they get them to med bay where they can give him a fake eye or something? It's just beyond me. And the other thing I really hate is in this moneyless society, how Borg technology has become so valuable. I mean, there was no indication of that at all. That the Borg implants that you had when you were Borgified had any like strategic or military use whatsoever. It just didn't seem they never established that before. In how long since the Borg first showed up? Like, was it the mid-80s? It's been a long time, and don't you think that's kind of an important plot point if you're like really revolving your entire story around it? And you are. The story of Picard is really revolving around the commercial value and the exploitation of Borg parts. It is just, especially this episode. I just honestly I don't get it. You know what? Actually, I needed a palate cleanser after watching this. I thought, what's the darkest Star Trek I can watch when I feel still for Star Trek? And so, great, I went straight onto Netflix and watched Deep Space Nine, like one of the later episodes in the Dominion War. And it did the trick. It was dark. It was people were in conflict. People were under extreme pressure. There was extreme. What's the word I'm looking for? Extreme. Extreme conflict. Yeah, and people were very, very conflicted, and yet still it remained true to what Star Trek is, which this doesn't. This seems to be trying very, very hard to be kind of like one of the Star Trek Renegades. It was a fan production. It's trying to be, and it's just not as good because it's like that thing had the feeling of Star Trek to it. Well, this really doesn't. It really, really doesn't. So you have this like really gross body horror thing. 709 saves him, but then he wants to die, so she shoots him instead because apparently that's just what happens. So yeah, that's how we start, and then we go to like a massive tone change. This is what this episode was like. It had like several massive tone changes, jarring from out of nowhere, and then we flash back to 2 weeks ago. Maddox shows up, played by a different guy than he was played by in Next Generation. I've been googling him to try and find the actor because I recognize him, but I just can't. Don't know where I've seen him before. So he shows up on Free Cloud about 2 weeks ago, and he's met by this woman called Bajazel, who looks exactly like. I mean, they really made her look exactly like what's her name, the UN Secretary General from The Expanse, Abasarala, whatever. They really made they hired an actress who was similar, and she looks as close to her as was it Captain Rios from Picard looks like Holden. It's so sad that Star Trek used to be on the cutting edge. Used to be the thing that people would emulate, a thing that people would follow, and now it's a pale. It's a pale pastiche of much better TV shows, and it's really, really sad. It's just sad for me. Fine, so we have Maddox. He's there. He's on the run because his lab has been completely destroyed on a molecular level. He thinks by the Tal Shiar, and this woman Bajazel. First she's just going to kill him, and then she like drugs him and like captures him. Right. So who was it? Rick Berman put out a tweet this week saying, "How's everybody enjoying Picard?" And he got like a flood of people going, "Oh, we miss you, Rick Berman." And we really do. I had no idea how much appreciation I have for Rick Berman until now. So he got all this all these tweets saying how much I miss you. Doomcock said it best. He replied in a tweet saying, "This Star Trek Picard is Star Trek made by and for people who don't like Star Trek." It's like, and I would love to know if it's doing well. I heard a rumor, which I would really hope is true. I really hope it's true, but I don't know if it's true. It's just a rumor. Most of these rumors turn out not to be true. So this is a rumor, not fact, that Amazon isn't interested in a second season of Picard, which basically means they're screwed. They need like some form of international distributor to pay for it. Otherwise, they've got to pay for it themselves. I don't think they're going to do it. But who knows? Who knows? Even if that is true, you're applying logic and reason to television executives who really just care about saving face more than anything else. Fine, so then we have the titles that thinks it's being clever, talking about, you see the blue sky, then a chunk falls off, talking about, how everything's degenerated. Yeah, we know what we're talking about. You get the analogy. Yes, we do. Yes, we get it. It's not subtle. So then, after that we have, it opens up on the titles, and Picard is having a meeting with Seven on his idiotic holodeck chateau thing, which I hate. I just hate that. Oh my god, there's so many things in it I hate. And so now Seven is a Fenris Ranger. I'm not really clear what they are. It seems to be kind of like the Marquis. So that actually feels kind of Star Trekky. And that could have been a decent show. Because when the Federation pulled out or something, they took up the power vacuum, and they're criminals, says Picard. And again, so then we get like the weekly lambasting and harassment of Picard as he's a frail old doddery guy, apologizing, stammering out his apologies to another strong woman. And again, if you're going to call this show Picard, I would really like to see Picard. Picard was a man of towering personal strength and integrity. He wasn't this frail, old, impotent, gibbering man constantly apologizing to his betters, which, yes, coincidentally happen to be women. I think they may be making some kind of point with it. I don't know. It's very subtle. See if you can work it out. So then, Raffi and Reyes are talking about Seven and Picard, and they mention that Picard's an ex-Borg. They go back to, they reiterate that being a Borg is highly valuable. They're highly exploited in the world of Star Trek Picard. Then we get a quick scene of Agnes Jurati, who is increasingly weird this episode, and she's watching some home movies of her and Maddox. Apparently, they clearly used to be dating. It's actually kind of a cool scene that Maddox has replicated all the ingredients to make his own chocolate chip cookies, so he can make it himself. And that feels Star Trek. That feels like what people in the Star Trek world would do. They would cook for the joy of cooking. I always liked that with Cisco's father, how he never liked having a replicator. And he would do it for some ingredients. But I thought that actually was, again, I hate these little sparks of things that I kind of like, but I don't like this show. I'm really intrigued to know how it's doing. I would love to know how the normies have taken this. I think they're kind of bored by it, really. I say this every week. They should have dropped this in one day, because it's one story. We're getting little flicks of a story each week. And this week we don't even have Narek or Narek's the only one I really care about seeing. We don't have Narek, and it really was worth it. I do like Elnor. Okay, yeah, I find in the characters I do enjoy in this are the wrong ones. I like Narek. I like Elnor. I kind of like Reyes. And Jurati no, Raffi no. Seven was a blink and misser, but yeah, okay, they came up with 4 characters that I'm vaguely interested in, but I really don't care about any of them. I guess, I really don't care about any of them. Fine. So they get to, was it Freeload? I can't remember what they are. The Free Cloud, right? And everybody's assailed by these holographic ads, and please. Enough with the holograms. Again, the Star Trek I watched last night, they were just experimenting with the hologram communications. It was a good one. It was one where I actually saw a couple. I binge watched because I just needed some real stuff. It was the one where they called Eddington. It was season 5. So in the middle, I always like those episodes. And they kept going on about. Le Miserable. Yeah, it was a fun episode. Anyway, so they had all these holo ads, and Jurati couldn't work out how that she's got to hit it in the head to get rid of the ad. And Elnor's upset that he didn't get it. Again, Elnor, Narek, and Reyes. I think, okay, I'm up for these. They're good side characters, but those 3 characters does not a good show make. So. They find Mazak and they know Maddox, and he's being held by this woman, Bajazel, and on the job board on their Craigslist, and they're looking for somebody to make a deal with the Tal Shah so they can tell them. They've had him for 2 weeks, really, and so they say okay. So they're looking for somebody to make a deal with the Tal Shah so they can sell them back them. So then 709 comes up with the plan that she could trade herself for Maddox because she is super value as she's filled with all of Borg tech. Okay, so that's the plan, and they're obviously going to try and like not sell 709, but trick them somehow. So they do this. They do this trick again, which I'm really kind of. They've done it a few times. I'm finding kind of boring, where they have the same characters in two scenes, and they intercut the one scenes before the other, but they intercut them. So they like, how are we going to get away from this? And they cut to the earlier scene, and we're going to do this in case this happens. You know, fine. I honestly, I just don't think it works that well. So Reyes is all pimped out. He wears a full Huggy Bear, pimp outfit. It really does, with a feather in the hat. That was 709's idea. He needed a big feather in his big hat, and he's there to make a deal for Maddox, but not for the Tal Shiar, but for this other party that wants to buy him, and he's selling 709. And he has to meet this guy called Mr. Vop, one of this Bejazel woman's bodyguards, heavies, whatever you want to call them. And this guy can smell. He's got such an incredible sense of smell. He can smell when you're lying on who you had sex with. You just ask me, I'll tell you. And so what they do, they give him like this time. There's one, the intercut thing. They give him this time release. Some kind of, maybe like weed. I don't know. They're like, but you can see it kicking in where he like totally like chills out, and so he can't smell he's lying on him. Fine. He can't smell the lies on him. So then Picard turns up, and he's playing this bonkers evil Frenchman with this like very, very broad French accent. And again, it's this other jarring tone change because it's very pantomime-esque. And okay, excuse me. I know Patrick Stewart's English, and he plays Jean-Luc Picard with an English accent. We all know they got that kind of wrong. I think when they were making it in like the early 80s or middle, when they said, "Listen, he's an American. Yeah, he's not American. All you need to do is have a non-American play a non-American part. So it doesn't matter. He's English and he's playing a French guy. Okay, we all just kind of let it go. But now Patrick Stewart's made this really weird acting choices to play this like eye-patched pantomime villain. It's just a weird acting choice, but he's drawing attention to that he doesn't have a Scottish accent, a French accent, because the character he's playing has this like bizarre French accent. It's so freaking weird, I have to say, and my respect for Patrick Stewart is diminishing with with every second. There was this woman came out this week. What's her name? Julie Schwartz. Schwartz. She's the writer on She-Hulk. And first she came out attacking South Park for some crazy reason. But then when she got like a blowback on that, she had like, "No, can't a woman have any opinions about anything?" But one of the things she said was really very, very telling, that they want to tear down all these cultural icons that they see of being a male patriarchy. Well, I guess you can't have any other form of patriarchy male. But yeah, I think that is what this show is. It's specifically designed to tear down a heroic icon because he hasn't been a member of the male patriarchy, which is what this whole freaking show is about. It's about destroying something. Yeah, it's not about adding something new. It's about tearing something down and destroying the past. Okay. If that's I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm saying that totally fits that theory. So then we have another massive weird tone change, and we go into weird soap opera territory. Raffi, who wasn't coming with Picard to help him, will just get a ride to Free Cloud, because apparently that's where her son is. Now she's, it turns out she's an addict, and she's in recovery, and she wants to reconnect with her son. She says she's clean, which she isn't. 2 episodes ago, she was smoking again, it was not Andorian, it was Orion weed or something like that. She was vaping away. She's not clean. She says she's clean, but he totally isn't interested in reconnecting with her. He's still really mad and hurt by her because she was apparently obsessed with all these conspiracy theories about the synthetic attack on Mars. She's just been upset, and she starts going crazy. There's lies within lies. Play. Shut up. And, okay. the Mars attack was clearly an allegory for 9/11, and so she's a conspiracy theorist about it. How long before she starts blaming the Jews? Yeah, how long before that comes out somehow? Was it is it going to be a Ferengi plot? Yeah, they're so going to start blaming the Jews somehow, because that is what every 9/11 conspiracy theory always ends up with somehow. It's always the Jews, and I kind of pay attention to this being a rabbi. So the son is married to a very, very pregnant Romulan, and he's working in some facility center or something. I'm not sure. And he's not interested and sends her away. So then we change the tone once again, and we're back to Picard playing this weird French evil guy, and he brings in Seven to meet Bjayzl. But apparently Seven knows Bjayzl. Oh, yeah, Seven knows Bjayzl, knows of old, and she calls her Jay, and it's heavily intimated that these two were lovers. Now, if you're not going to do something Star Trek-y, that's the Star Trek I would like to see. Yeah, I would like. What was it? I was watching Nerderotics review, and he said, what was it? It was a really funny one. It was I can't remember now. 709 doing a bit of 69 with a solid 8.5. Okay, yes, okay, I'm down for that. But no, that would be too. But that would be too patriarchal, I'm sure. So as all this is going on, and they're making the deal for Seven for Maddox, Agnes Jurati is just freaking out. She's like, ah! And her job is doing this. She's got to operate the transporter. It's essentially clicking a button. That's all she has to do. And she's freaking out. The EMH turns up and says, what's the nature of your psychological emergency? That she's crazy, apparently. So anyway, so everything turns out to be a setup by 709 somehow to get in to see Bjayzl so she can kill her, because she's the one who was behind killing the kid from Voyager at the beginning. And so the negotiations change that Bjayzl offers her life for Maddox. Like if she'll give him Maddox as long as Seven won't kill her. So I'm like, fine, they do that, and they take Maddox, and they go back to the ship. Seven says she's going to leave and go back to Free Cloud, I think, and wait for some Fenris Rangers to pick up. Mind if I borrow a couple of phaser rifles? Because you're going to say yes to that, and she does. And what a shock! She goes back down and she kills everyone. It was that scene we saw from the trailer with her, two guns. Yeah, she kills everyone. Okay, well, that's it. Yeah, who didn't see that coming? Apparently Picard, because he's not the Picard we know. He's now this doddery old fool. So the episode ends. We're in sickbay, and Maddox is meeting with Picard, and Maddox gives him a major info dump, telling us everything we already knew. But he points Picard in the direction of the Romulan Ball Cube, which is where they're heading for. And then at the very end, a very tearful Jurati, who doesn't want to do it, kills Maddox for some unknown reason. I guess we're going to find out. She's very, very tearful. She's sorry. She's heard something that she can't unhear, and she has to kill Maddox. And that's where the episode ends, and we're halfway through Picard, and I am just looking forward to this being over. I'm watching it for the channel. I would have been out this week with the gross body horror, which was completely unnecessary, which I think is really the best way to describe this series. Completely unnecessary. From my perspective, it exists to tear down the past rather than to continue a legacy into the future. And I'm really not interested, because I like the past. I think the past has some good things to it, Star Trek being one of them, and I miss Star Trek. I do. I miss Star Trek, and it hurts me every time this fake Trek comes on by people who do not like Trek, made for people who don't like Trek. And if they don't like Star Trek, they're not going to watch this. Again, I would love to hear the audience numbers on this, and I would dearly love that rumor to be true that Amazon is pulling out. Oh, wouldn't that be freaking awesome? Anyway, my name is Sheila Beckham, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please let me know what you think in the comments. If you're new to my channel, I will always endeavour to answer your comments. If you take the time to write to me, I will answer you. If there's anything you want me to cover, if you have any thoughts, if you wildly disagree with me, look, if you're really into this, let me know. I can't really see it. It seems kind of like, it sounds like dull genetic sci-fi that's very derivative of lots of better, innovative science fiction. Yeah, that's where I am. So my name is Vila Beck and the Rabbi from Another Planet. Please, if you can consider hitting the subscribe button, thank you very much for doing that, and have yourself a fantastic day.